Hello everyone, my name is Brian and welcome back to Barb's Basement. So this week we have something very exciting / bold / confusing to talk about. As many of you know, I'm a big fan of Charles Soule and everything that's been going on in the Star Wars universe since his initial Vader run. Granted, the High Republic hasn't really grabbed me yet, but it seems like it's getting there, it's just kind of a slow burn. Now since then, Chuck has been working on War of the Bounty Hunters, a comic run that I have started but have since fallen off since maybe the second issue. That being said, minor spoilers for War of the Bounty Hunters and Rise of Kylo Ren ahead. Ye have been warned. One of the biggest issues fans have had with the sequel trilogy since Episode 8 has been that the Knights of Ren have seemingly gotten snubbed. I would be one of those fans. I was legitimately excited to see a new version of the Inquisitorius. I had so many theories as to who they would be, what they were up to, and who founded them, and Episode 7 really hyped them up for future movies. So, needless to say, I was pretty bummed out when they weren't even included in The Last Jedi. Now that being said, much like the prequels and their initial backlash, the sequels are starting to get that fleshed out treatment.
Thumbs way down.
You didn't like it?
No, I think I deserve a public apology from George Lucas.
In The Rise of Kylo Ren, also written by one Charles Soule, the Knights feature heavily. The series takes place between 18 to 28 ABY, so there's a time difference for you. In that run, we get to see Ben Solo's training, a bit of his angst, Lars Santeca fucking makes an appearance, which is pretty sweet, how Snoke manipulated him, and his initial run-in with the Knights of Ren, who had a leader before Kylo Ren, a mysterious man simply named Ren. Now, interestingly, the Knights of Ren refer to the dark side as Ren, so it's like, are they the Knights of Ren because Ren's their leader, or is Ren named Ren because that's what they call the dark side, or is that what they call the Force? That part was never really cleared up and it's still a little bit confusing. Now, without getting into an entire rundown of the miniseries, basically the Knights clearly know who Snoke is, they serve him, and their first encounter with Ben, they can sense the darkness in him, and they actually ask him, is this the life that you want? Do you want to be a Jedi? Now, obviously we all know how that goes. The main takeaway is actually that we get to see the face of Ren. We get to see that the Knights are all actually Force-sensitive beings. Finally, throwing in a blink and you miss it Force push does not count. I'm looking at you, Rise of Skywalker. In the end, Ben still casts aside the Jedi ways and he kills Ren, taking over the title of Master of the Knights of Ren. Now all this takes place in 28 BBY. So here's the weird and tantalizing part of all of this. In a recent exclusive sneak peek with IGN, they always get the exclusive stuff for some reason, we get more details in the upcoming Crimson Reign arc, which will heavily feature Kira, the former flame of one Han Solo. Have you heard of him? The story takes place after Empire Strikes Back, as Han's still frozen in carbonite, but the really interesting part is that the Knights of Ren are featured in the article, and they've also been confirmed to be in this run. So to me, it looks like that's the original Master of the Knights of Ren. So seemingly the original Master, Ren, is going to be in Crimson Reign, nearly 30 years before his death at the hands of Ben Solo. So obviously this one has me extra confused. Is this going to be a vision of the future? Does this Ren just look almost identical to the Ren that we already met? Is this going to be some weird world between worlds shit? And why would they be introducing that in the War of the Bounty Hunters arcs? That just seems I don't know, it's weird. Don't get me wrong, I am very hyped to see more of the Knights of Ren, and I might be in the minority here, but I am actually pretty excited that they're tying in all these different eras and they're trying to fix some of the issues with the sequel trilogy. I know a lot of people aren't very keen on the idea of the Bad Batch and the Mandalorian tying into Rise of Skywalker or building towards Rise of Skywalker in different ways, but I am. I'm excited to see what the hell is going on with the Knights of Ren and what they're doing in the original Trilogy Era, and the implications that come along with that. It leaves me guessing, which is that's the best part of Star Wars in my opinion. The mysticism of it. The big question is, are we going to see more pickled Snokes? What kind of pickles are they? Are they spicy or are they more briny? We need to know this, Kathleen. Like I've already said, I love Charles Soule, and most of the things that he's doing in Star Wars, he's right up there with Timothy Zahn, for me, personally. Don't attack me, that's just my personal opinion. I'm really liking what he's doing with the High Republic. I like that they're starting to build into some of those Lost Jedi, and they're kind of introducing some weird Force and Sith stuff. So I have faith that he's going to deliver something really bizarre and interesting. I really do think that more fans are starting to come around to this era of Star Wars. If you're a lapsed fan who isn't reading this stuff, give it a shot. You may actually find something that you really enjoy. Well, that is it for this week. But I wanted to get some of your guys' opinion on it. Are you excited about this Knights of Ren stuff? Do you think that they're actually going to be physically in this era, or do you think it's going to be some weird forced vision that Luke has about the Knights of Ren 30 years before he actually encounters them? Also, the other question I had was, is this actually when... Has Luke encountered them before he encounters them in the Rise of Kylo Ren comic book run? Whatever, I'm getting sidetracked. But make sure you subscribe or whatever for more BS.